You need to stop overstressing. Try being a little happy. You just need to express yourself. Come on. But what if they think I'm weak? What if they laugh at me? No, no, no. Let them be the background noise, always there, never helpful, okay? You can do this, just go and show them. Well, this is me. Every fortnight, breaking down and pointing fingers at myself. I completely don't understand. I wasn't like this before. It was the 13th of July last year when I last heard from my grandma, not realizing that I'd lose her and something more. I lost the ability to feel. Suddenly, emotions felt icky. Expressing meant judgment. And life, it became a cycle. Crying in silence, waking up with that cheerful yet painful mask on, and press repeat. I was going through what I would call a phony emotional capitalism, or an over glossy blockade that struck my mind where emotions felt completely illegal. Fancy, right? Well, okay. Picture this: huge mountains, a ferociously sparkling stream rushing down, birds chirping, and everyone around you wanted to take it all in. And you were too, for that matter. But something inside you was pulling you back. There's a fight inside between what you're feeling and what you're showing. And that's the real war. The times when our thoughts and actions just stop speaking the same language. Okay, tell me, how many times have you swallowed your voice just because it couldn't fit in the mold? And how often have you or you let your mind scream while your lips curved into a socially acceptable smile? Well, I'm sure all of us must have been in that situation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the battlefield in here. You see, I'm not here as Lavanya, the girl with the mic and script, but I'm standing here as Lavanya, the girl who knows what it's like to be haunted by her own thoughts, to walk through hallways full of people, yet drowning in your own emotions. Let me remind you of Simone Biles, a world-class gymnast who stunned the world not just with her emotions, but her courage to say no. Yes, she walked away from the Tokyo 2022 Olympic finals, not because her legs failed, but because her mind said, not today. And that, my friends, is what true strength looks like. The strength to walk away from applause when it costs you your peace. And this is the battlefield inside us. The times when our dreams often get caught in that crossfire of expectations. But let me ask you, what's the point of winning the world if you lose yourself in the process? And what good is a gold medal if your soul feels bronze? Think about it. According to the World Health Organization report of 2019, over 7 lakh people died due to suicide that year. And that's one person every 40 seconds. And you know what? Most of them, they weren't weak. They were simply exhausted soldiers in a battle no one could see. And that reminds me of a quote I heard the other day, that the human heart is a battle no one could see, where every smile can mask a wound and every silence can scream louder than words. Heavy, right? Well, okay. What if I tell you all to pinch yourselves as hard and not give me a single reaction? How would you feel? Suppressed? Harrowing? Angry, right? But this is reality. The reality of the battlefield inside us. The times when we ponder about how the society will accept our actions and what we ultimately end up doing. I mean, what are we supposed to do in that case? Let's understand it this way. Imagine a loop. Now, first you feel it. There's a sudden bang in your chest and a sudden oh escapes as your breath shortens. And the voice inside whispers, something's off. Now, second, you feel it. You hear the voice. No, say you're not okay. But you just can't. Come on, you can say this. You are not okay. And then suddenly, just almost, that courage bubbles up. But then, third, fear barges in. What will they say? Will they laugh? And your confidence? Poof, gone in a blink. So now what? You seal your lips, raise your eyebrows, and play it cool. Next, you perform. You lie and you say, I am fine. Nothing's bothering me. Until finally you hear the echo. When the whole world sleeps, you lie there wide-eyed, buzzing thoughts, saying, why didn't I speak? And that's it. The cycle keeps spinning and spinning again. Now, I'd like to revolve this talk around two real-life stories. First, let's meet a young 19-year-old wild-hearted painter who used to paint like people breathe air. Except the fact that she was born in a family where laughing too loud or crying, she was told, don't draw attention, be modest. So now what? She started to compress her identity into a little box termed acceptable. Now, let's meet an influencer with a hauntingly familiar life, where social media hailed him as a maverick. People saw the wisdom in his quotes, but no one saw the hidden medicines in his drawers or the panic attacks in cars. He was dealing with a broken marriage and estranged children. And me, you would ask? Yes. I myself have dealt with a classroom full of noise. And I'm sure you must have too. But that noise, it wasn't in the form of loud voices. They were loud masks where everyone wanted to sound clever, confident, and correct. And we were asked a simple question that day. What do you think the world needs the most today? And my heart whispered, kindness. But I just couldn't raise my hand because kindness sounded too soft, too naive, and too boring. But that's me. And that is the moment when I realized that emotional suppression has become so normalized and so habitual that it has become a form of slow, invincible violence. Twist to the stories, while the young girl, she thrived just because she chose to feel again. She spread the word in a college where dozens came forward saying, me too. Well, the influencer could not make it through, but he ignited the lives of so many. Why? Because all of them started to express themselves. And me? I came up with the theory called the EBFR. Yes, you heard it right, the acronym EBFR. Let's start with E. E refers to emasculation. Get it this way. Consider your mind to be a flower, all right? Now you get it? It's a flower. So first, let's start with E. E means emasculation. In a flower, it means removing the diseased part of the flower, just like letting go of your fear and the misconceptions in your mind. Second, let's move to B. B for bagging. In a flower, it means covering the flower to protect it from an unwanted pollen. But for you, it is going to be removing all the damaging misconceptions of the society and all the societal norms that harm your brain. Third, let's move to fusing. In a flower, it means mingling with just the right pollen. But for us, it is going to be finding our compatible group where we feel acknowledged. And last, let's move to rebagging. As the name suggests, in a flower, it prevents further repollination. But for us, it is going to be maintaining our peace of mind and credence and following the above 3 rules. And there you go. The loop breaks and peace wins. So, the next time you find yourself standing in front of the mirror, ask yourself, if your life were a painting, whose hands are really holding the brush? And maybe, just maybe, if you're near to an answer, you know that this time your voice, it didn't whisper, it roared. Why? Because you chose to feel again. And you know what? This time, this battlefield, it didn't destroy you, it defined you. Thank you.